got up too late. I was almost done with my work here, but I needed to start earlier. I'll get it done by 4, probably 3:30. Got up too late. 6:30 was not enough time.
What are you working on that's taken almost an entire regular person workday?
Oh no, I went back to bed after that. I got up around like 9:30.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay, thank you for setting that up.
And then I went to Canada.
Okay.
To run an errand. It's the season. And I got home about 12:30, and I had this thought, and I reached out to Sneaky Joe. Like, he and I were a little bit, I caught him workshopping this together, and we threw some names back and forth. And then when I got here, I knew I needed to make sure everything was right. I'm almost done, but I'm not done. I wanted to know. Want to play with this?
I also
with me
feel
here?
like today, and like this is not exactly the point you're making. I feel like between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock was about 20 minutes today. And most days do not ever feel that way to me. I don't have anything really to do other than come here between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. And for some reason, I got here and heated up some lunch. And as I was finishing it, I looked at the clock and it was like 2:55. I was like, what? I thought I had 20 minutes to sit here and sort of digest and get set and showtime. So I'm also feeling a time crunch, though I was not really working on anything.
I wonder why.
Other than lunch. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
We have new carpet. We've had conversations with people here about that. There was some work that needed to be done in here, so there was that. But that's not an excuse for me.
I don't know. My afternoon just got away from me, I guess, is what I'm saying. At least the early part of it. It's still, there's still a lot of afternoon to go.
You bought me a few more games here, so thank you for talking.
Okay, good. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help.
Originally I wanted this to sort of stump Joe. I thought maybe I could stump Joe, but I knew I was running out of time to do it, and I just decided to bring him in to figure this out with me. So for now, this is just regular season. Okay?
Okay.
How many opposing quarterbacks does Allen as a starter have a losing record against? So I don't have a number, but I will. Right? You know that I will.
Sure.
Because I'm going through, I didn't know of a better way to do it. There probably is one. I'm going through every game he's ever started. And of course, some games you know who they played against, like who started against them. It's always Mahomes, tons of Tua. But we're going 8 years now.
Yeah, right.
So some of these I got wrong. I did not remember who started for the Raiders against the Bills in the home opener in 2023. You want a piece of that? You want to take a shot at that? Who started week 2 for the Raiders in Buffalo? It gets more obscure than this guy.
Yeah. I really don't know. Derek Carr's gone by then?
Yep. The Bills do have a game against Derek Carr when he played for the Raiders in Las Vegas. That'd be 19, I think.
Okay.
They went out there week 4. They were 3-0. That's the year where they beat the Jets and the Giants, I think, to start the season.
Okay.
I mean, if I don't know right now, I'll never know because
right.
This is what I've been doing for hours.
I don't have a reasonable guess at who this Raiders guy would have been.
That's a different season. The COVID year is when they go to Vegas, and it's Derek Carr.
Okay.
2020. Garoppolo.
Wow. Yeah. All right.
You got that?
Yep.
So I think that's the only game they have against him as a starter. How many quarterbacks would have winning records against Allen?
Just regular season so far is what we're talking about.
Right. So if you include the playoffs, I think you add Burrow because I think regular season is now 1-1.
Right, because they have that one game that they didn't play. And then there's the loss that followed that and the win on Sunday.
Yes. If you include Lamar Jackson, you include the playoffs, the Bills Allen is 2-2 against Jackson in the regular season.
But 2-0 in the playoffs.
But 2-0, right, 2-0 in the playoffs. So it changes a couple of these if you include the playoffs. Now, the Bills have never faced Easton Stick in a playoff game.
But they did play him out in L.A.
They
once.
did.
Yes, on a Saturday.
On a
Peacock
Saturday
or
night.
something,
On
I think.
Peacock.
Right.
You got the rest of it.
I remember,
you got the whole thing.
I remember some things.
You're all over this one.
Some things I remember. It has to be not many. First thing I thought of was Houston, but that was Stroud last year. It was Mills this year,
right?
And Mills played them here and got destroyed. I
That's
think.
right, 40-0.
So Houston, maybe there's a loser, but I don't. Stroud, is this year the only time they've played Stroud? That might be the only time that they have played Stroud.
Last year.
Right, that's what I meant. Last year. Sorry, yeah, the loss there last year.
So I think they're 0-2 against him. No, 0-1.
0-1. It's the only the one game. Deshaun Watson might also have a winning record against them if you include playoffs. I'm not sure about regular season.
I hope I checked this. I think he does have a regular season win over the Bills in the game when Allen was a rookie in which he was injured.
Okay.
And Houston won that game.
Yeah. And they've not played him since that playoff game.
That's right.
So 0-2 if you include the playoffs, I think.
I think it's, and this is where I've fallen short here not being done by now, but I think it's a more interesting and shorter list if you make it at least 2 or 3 starts. Because then, like, Michael Penix is on the list otherwise.
You're right, 1-0. Right.
The 1-0 guys, I don't need them. Jalen Hurts.
Right.
1-0.
Yeah, if you go to 3 starts, or
let's say 2. Even.
Okay. Then Watson qualifies.
Including playoffs, I guess Watson would qualify.
Right.
I'm pretty sure of that.
Trevor Lawrence is. I'm thinking of games they've lost to them with him, but they also hammered them here last season. And I don't know, is there any other? I'm going to guess Lawrence is like 2-1 against the Bills.
That's correct. 9-6.
And London,
and then last year.
Yeah.
So Lawrence would be the first guy with as many as 3 starts that we know of here.
Right.
Another name, but there is at least one more. Carson Wentz.
Oh, sure.
What he's got on the Bills against Allen is 2 road blowout wins. Maybe the 2 worst games the Bills have had at home.
Right, he's the
under
quarterback
Allen.
of that Colt team when Taylor goes off.
And the Eagles.
There was an Eagles game real early. Yeah. Is
yes.
that rookie season even?
19?
19 maybe, yeah. Okay.
Middle of 19? Yes, and that's a blowout for Philadelphia. So the Bills have not beaten Philadelphia in a long time. So Wentz has 2-0 against Allen. Hasn't played him, even though he's on a different team every year. I don't think they've seen him since. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure. Lawrence is 2-1 on Allen, and so is May.
Right. Right. Is that he gets credit for last year's finale, even though he hardly played.
Right.
And then there's the game this year, and they beat him the other time. Close game here last year. So, yeah, I mean, that's asterisk city because of one series, but still, that's the way the records are kept. So he's got a winning record against Josh Allen. And, yeah, that's how it goes.
Do people still talk about quarterback wins? Like, is anybody using this in any way?
I think it's all depending on what argument you're trying to make. I mean, I think selectively you can pluck it out. And, and we're even hearing it a lot this year, as it points toward the playoffs. Like, I don't disagree with the organizational pressure that there is, and even therefore the pressure that there is on Josh Allen to reach the Super Bowl this year, considering what's going on in the conference. But it seems like that's QB wins to me, and there isn't No, I'm listening to Greg. I saw a clip of Greg Cosell on with Colin Cowherd earlier this week. I just listened to him say very many of the same things driving in to our buddy Chris Trapasso, who's in for Brownie and Tasker on One Bills Live. The roster itself, he didn't talk much about the offense just now on One Bills Live, but defense, like, there's not an impact defender on this team. Something we all plainly know. There's not a difference-making stud defender on this team. The closest you could probably get is Benford. You want to push for Bosa. I mean, I think you're on pretty thin ice already. He's been good for the Bills, but he's not like one of the top guys at that position anymore. And on offense, I did see Greg talking about this with Coward. Like, there's not. It's James Cook, and that's it. There's like a bunch of guys at receiver. So, like, pinning it on Allen, like, he's got to do it this year because Mahomes may not be in or Jackson may not be in. I don't know. I mean, I'm all for, me. I'm the one over here going, I've had the ball the last 2 years with a chance to go ahead around the 2-minute warning or even later and maybe win over the Chiefs in the playoffs, and that shines a less than complimentary light on Allen. But, man, I think going as hard as he's got to do it this year because these other dudes aren't there, I'm not sure that's fair. I understand it in the big scheme of things. Like, that's the 50,000-foot view is he's the best guy standing. It's the most important position. Therefore, he's got to do it, right? The boogeyman might not be there to scare us this year, Mahomes. But it's still not a team that is full of it's not a great team, top to bottom. At least as far as impactful stars to like make a difference in a game. Like Allen continues to have to be the guy that elevates the whole thing. Unless you continue to get defensive touchdowns like you did the last 2 weeks that really swung both games. I mean, I think that Steeler game was going to go the Bills' way eventually, but they were losing when he made that play, and they were losing until he made the play he made on Sunday against Cincinnati. And so if you from now to January, even through January into February, get impactful plays like that, not necessarily scores, but more takeaways on defense, then maybe the narrative changes a little. But right now, I feel like there's a lot of heat on Allen that I'm not sure. It sounds like QB wins to me, somewhat. And I'm not sure how fair that really is. 2
more names for the list of quarterbacks with multiple starts against Allen and winning records against him. Tom Brady, 4-0.
Okay.
And
I have a guess.
Go ahead.
Is Ryan Tannehill on this list?
Ryan Tannehill. I
just looked at the standings and saw Tennessee and thought, yeah.
I have him at 3-2 against Allen teams for Miami and then eventually Tennessee. There's probably some older guys, maybe Phillip Rivers, who's back, 1-0. Watson, you mentioned, 1-0.
If you include the playoffs, he's 1-1, Rivers, though.
That's right. That's another one.
They got him with Indianapolis.
That changes if you include the playoffs. That's his last game.
Until now.
And I assume he plays this week, but today their coach wouldn't say. He said he hadn't decided yet. That's a fun one. I guess you can get away with that.
Maybe a little more readily if the guy you're talking about is 44 years old and hasn't been on an NFL roster or practice squad, because that's where he still is.
Well,
in 5 years, you might want to make sure his arm is okay before you say he's starting.
I think they've been checking that.
After he practiced all week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was another day today is all I'm saying.
Well, I'm, mostly with you on how you laid out what this postseason narrative stuff will be, which is, like, fingers crossed for Allen, because he's not on, like Cosell said this too, right? Bluntly, he's not on a great team.
Right.
So, or he might have even gone further than that.
Yeah.
They're not very good. Something like that. He words to that effect. So, I mean, I don't really disagree. Relatively speaking, I really don't. So, Allen might have, there's always pressure, and I think we probably misjudge what the pressure thing really means to most players. I mean, is Allen really, it's just a lot of guys, maybe almost everybody. Is he played through his career like somebody where the pressure is like a problem. I mean, he's had huge games in the playoffs.
Right. There have been a couple of spots. The Bengal loss was bad. The AFC title game in 20 was bad.
You can point to the end of games and say that he wasn't at his best, maybe.
Didn't come through, right.
So he's got a couple of things here. That point about who's not in the playoffs, if that's how it ends, will make it – everybody's saying what you brought up there. Just like this has to be his – this is his chance. Because Mahomes won't be in his way maybe. So you've got that. But it's also like they have lost in the playoffs 6 years in a row without getting to the Super Bowl. Like they have that to overcome.
And I think they had better rosters a lot of those years. Last year, I wouldn't say last year is pretty comparable to this year, I think.
So if there is pressure, that would be a cause. The lack of winning to this point. You'd love to get that one right away, and then nobody ever questions whether you can do it. But if you're Manning or Allen or one of these guys that takes a while before they ever get there, then you're always being questioned about whether or not you can actually do it. Nicer the other way. So you've got that. You've got the Mahomes, maybe also Jackson, Burrow missing the playoffs point. And then, the point I keep thinking about, and this is also with their kind of their flaws in mind, is they are probably going on the road multiple weeks to play teams with good to great defenses. Like that is how this is shaping up. And we've had games this year where as good as he is under duress the whole game. That was Houston. That was pretty much Atlanta, Miami. Like whether or not he was feeling like mental pressure, I doubt he feels anything problematic in that area when they go to Miami.
Physical pressure.
I mean, yeah, and then that, if you will, mental pressure kind of grows because you're losing and you're the quarterback. Like you've got to figure out ways to pull out this game. The fumble in Miami when he's running and they're coming back. Remember that play? Mm-hmm. And like that might be one where they're really like they're sweating it because they're shut out into the fourth quarter by the Dolphins. That doesn't happen. And like you can't afford any mistakes. And if you think like that, what do I know from playing quarterback in the NFL? But I think if you think that like that, I can't mess up now. Like I can't get away with it.
That should make you tight. It could make you tight. Yeah.
Yeah. So
everybody's
I think
different, but yeah.
Those guys, when they're really on, they're sort of able to compartmentalize that or just kind of get through it. But the whole point of counting out every one of these 8-2 against Tua, by the way, every one of these Bills games that Allen has started is to unveil that May is on the list, which is a little bit cheap. It's the Week 18 game where they both end up leaving the game almost immediately, but they started, so they have that on their records as starting quarterbacks. Then you have the Bills beating New England here last year and losing to them here this year. So that's 1 and 2. That's what I wanted to find out is how short is the list of quarterbacks with multiple starts to have winning records against him. And I think we thought of maybe 5 names. Brady, Tannehill, May, Lawrence, and Watson if you include the playoffs.
Right.
And Burrow if you include the playoffs.
Stroud if you go just one game.
Other guys if you go just one game, like Penix and Stroud and Hurts, which it's not as interesting that way to me. I want more games to make it more meaningful. But then again, I'm admitting that May being included is a little bit cheap. Because of Week 18.